Are you sick of salads? Well, this week on Cooking Made Easy with June, I'm giving salad a new twist by wrapping it in rice paper and dipping it in fresh peanut sauce. Yum! That's coming right up on Cooking Made Easy with June, brought to you by Macy's, the happy shopping store in Spanish Fork. Welcome to Cooking Made Easy with June. I am so excited about this segment or this episode because I am going to make a fresh new start, and this awesome spring roll is going to change your life. I'm not kidding, because it is so easy. You don't fry it, it's all fresh. The first thing you do is you prep everything, okay? So now you can make it vegan by not having meat, but I love chicken. And what I love to do with my chicken, uses boneless, skinless, is I like to just put just throw it in there and add a little water and a little salt and a garlic. I don't know if you can see that. And then just bring it to a boil and let it simmer, and then cover it until it's cooked all the way through and it just steams it out. But I already made it ahead, so. And then you shred it. Now, I've never tried it with rotisserie chicken. However, I think that would be a really great idea to make it even more easy. So I'm just going to shred this ahead. Now, you can, traditionally, it's more of a Vietnamese dish. This is more of a Vietnamese style spring roll, and they don't fry it. But of course, you know, in Thailand, there are so many influences between the Chinese and all the Asians that way, and the Vietnamese and the Cambodians and things like that. So we always add a new twist to ours by adding different spices. But it's primarily the same thing, is that we're going to use rice paper. I'm so excited. So I'm going to shred this really quickly. Like again, I said, traditionally what they use is shrimp. So you have already cooked shrimp, and it's so good. But you know, in Utah, it's a little hard to find really good shrimp. I'm kind of picky that way. But I suppose you could use the frozen, fresh and cooked already, and I know they have those at Macy's. And the chicken, you can make your life even easier at Macy's because they have already trimmed chicken. I just go buy the package and just stick it in there and not do much to it. So okay, so I have my shredded chicken ready. And then, this recipe is also in my cookbook, but in my cookbook, I made it a little bit complex where I soak the sauce with the vegetables first, but I've come to find that you could do either way. I decided to go the easy route for the show, and I have some fresh greens. I have some, oh my gosh, I found this at Macy's. I was so excited. They're called squadoodles. And there's zucchini, and they made them into little noodles. It's already cut for you. It's only $5. It's awesome. So I decided to get that, and you could use that. You could use anything really, like I said. But I'm looking at color. So I pulled out a bell pepper, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm going to just slice them into little strips like that, really thin. You want them thin because you're going to add a variety. You're just going to throw it in there and you're going to cut it up. Oh, I'll show you. But so you want them really thin because you're going to mix it. You don't want big chunks of anything. Okay, so, and I'm just going to do a few right here so we can start making it. So now I think you can also use one of those mandolins. I guess you could grate it and it would be okay. Another vegetable that I like to add in here are carrots. Carrots are orange. So it would add lots of color. I also, if I had a red bell pepper, I probably would grab the red bell pepper, but I had orange. But it's still going to be awesome. So I'm going to do a few more strips. And you don't need tons because you can make so much and you can refrigerate it. But honestly, I love room temperature. And I think it would be a great lunch meal prep. Those of you who are really into eating healthy, you could add any protein you want. You can have no protein. So anyway, so I like to have it prepped ahead. So again, you can get fresh herbs at Macy's. And these are mints. I could smell them a mile away. I love it. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to break a few, and I guess you could do that along the way. But once I get going, I'm going to have wet hands. So I like to break off a few leaves. You don't need to eat this little the little stem there. So we're going to just break off a few leaves there. So I love mint. I love it strong. So I like to add more than one. Some people like to just add one sprig, but that mint is a kick and it's awesome. It's just fresh like that. Let me move my hand off a little bit. Okay. Now, so you have your veggies ready. Like I said, you could do anything for color. And so the key ingredients are vegetables, any kind, and chicken, you know, optional, it could be shrimp, but also the other major key ingredient is the mint. It's got to be fresh mint. I've used spearmint before, and it's yummy. It's still good. So I get this rice paper, and it's great food storage, honestly, because it lasts forever. It's just rice and water, and it's dried. And so I love this brand, Three Ladies, because it's a little bit more sturdy for what I'm going to do. So I have these ready out here. I'm going to go ahead and open the package. I'm going to pull a few sheets out. So they're like this. They're transparent. So, and now some people like to boil the water, but honestly, if your tap water gets as hot as mine, that's all you need is some really warm. I make it hot. So I'm just going to put a bowl of tap water in here. Fill it up to about near the wide top. I'll show you in a second. So it's steaming, so it's hot. Now the bowl, you could use really big ones or not so big ones, but it needs to be at least this much so you can dip. Let me move this over here. So you can dip the rice paper into the water like that, okay? And you just carefully let it soak so that it will become really, really soft. Okay, so that takes just a sec. Okay, while it's doing that, I'm gonna cut a few more bell peppers, but you can kind of watch it once it gets going. Oh, well, maybe I won't cut a few bell peppers because it's already soft. Okay, if you let it in too long, it might it might break, but if it does break, it doesn't matter because we're not frying it. I'm so excited for you guys to see this. Okay, some of you have already seen it. I've shown it many times, but not on Spanish Fork 17. I've never done it. Okay, so it's like that. It's really gooey, like rice. It's a rice paper. And so, of course, it's gluten-free. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna die. You're gonna make this every day now that you know how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to just grab a few things of lettuce leaves. Okay, and well, this is a spring mix. Just has all these yummy goodness on there. I'm going to add some yellow zucchini. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. I've tried making these with the machine once, and it's like not worth it. I'm just gonna run to Macy's and grab them already made. I'm so excited about these. Have you guys been to the new Macy's in Spanish Fork? I hadn't been there in a little bit because I had broken my sternum, got in a car accident. But anyways, I went back to shop for the show, and they have a new eating area. It's beautiful. It's got windows and seating. They renovated that area, and it's lovely. Oh, okay. So I put that on there. Isn't that so pretty? And then I'm going to add. Then I'm going to add some chicken. And this is not even that meaty because you just want a little bit for every bite. Of course, if you really want it proteiny, you can add more. I like to spread out my leaves. Again, so these leaves are different sizes. So I normally do 2, but because this one was kind of small and I love mint, I'm just going to do it that way. Okay, see how easy that is? It's sticky on its own. And you notice that when I'm rolling it, it's tearing up a little bit there, and that's okay because we're not frying it. It's not going to break. So that's it. And that's it. I know that's kind of weird looking, honestly, but I like to serve it in different ways. I'll show you at the end when we make the sauce. In the meantime, I'm just going to put it on my plate. Okay, that's what I should have done. Right after I took out my first sheet, I should have added my other sheet. So while I'm rolling, then I'm going to, it will allow this other sheet to be soft, right? So I'm gonna let that in there, and I'm gonna show you how that works. And I'm gonna cut up this real quick, and we'll do one more roll. And for this segment, so I'm just gonna cut that really sharp I mean, with this really sharp knife. I've tried so many different knives, and one time when I taught cooking classes at Thanksgiving Point, this guy came to my Thai cooking class, and he was like, he writes cookbooks. He writes it for Dutch oven cooking, and so he wanted to have some ideas and recipes for his with some Asian twist to it. Anyways, but he is also a knife person. I don't know. He uses so knives, and he said all knives are the same. You just have to sharpen it. So I think that's where my problem is. I do not sharpen knives, and I should, because I think I would save a lot of energy if I sharpen all my knives. He said they're all the same, just sharpen it. So, okay, there you go. Okay, so this one is ready. So now I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm going to add the other one, so that way you can have a little system going there. Okay, so that one's submerged in water. It's still warm, not hot, but it's still really, really warm. So I'm going to do that quickly. Now, my cookbook, again, of course, I'm going to promote it. It's been out a few years, and I keep telling myself I've got to make another one. And I do have plans, and I keep throwing out the title, Cooking for the White Boy, because that's what it's going to be, all my American recipes. And so I'm going to do that, hopefully when I have time. Maybe a new year, a new goal, a new life, whatever. So I'm just adding, again, like anything here. So, but it's still available, my cookbook. It's still available on cedarfortpress.com or booksandthings.com. I almost forgot the mint leaves. Okay, so that one's a big one, but can't have too much mint. Okay, so then I'm gonna roll this. Okay, so we are going to take a little break. Let me finish this off for you. I'm gonna roll a few more here. See, so notice how I did that? So this one is ready now, okay? And then I put this on here, then I slip the other one on. Then you have a system. We're gonna take a little break. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how to make the sauce. So don't go away, because the sauce is the boss. I mean, there's not a lot of flavor here. We'll wait until we do the sauce. Okay, so come back. All right, welcome back. We are going to now make the sauce, the boss. The sauce. So this is a light peanut sauce. Now traditionally Thailand has also a more heavy peanut sauce that I love also, and I've also served it with this dish, with these spring rolls. And I've done it to where I've combined the sauces, and I might have a little bit in the fridge, but then I'm just gonna show you to make this one, okay? So first we start with the lime juice. Again, fresh lime juice. So I'm just going to squeeze lime juice by cutting it. This one was already cut, but I'm just going to score it and squeeze it in there. Okay, do that last squeeze. And another squeeze. Oh my goodness, I'm a little clumsy this morning, or this evening. Whatever time it is for you. All right, so we need like, it says here, a tablespoon. So I'm going to double. I know my station manager is like, don't double because it changes everything, but I'm going to double the sauce. It's how I cook. Hey, we got to have enough sauce. All right, so that should be about 2 tablespoons because it requires only 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it in my sink, and it comes out clean and fresh when you put it in the disposal. Okay, so I have that ready. So all I do is put everything into the blender or food processor that you may have. Thank you, Spanish Fork 17. So I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons. I have enough to triple it, no. Okay, so I'm gonna double it, and I'm gonna add these red peppers. Now I've also used jalapenos, and they're yummy too. But these red peppers will add color. Now let's take it off the stem, and these are little. It's hard to find red peppers in Utah sometimes, so I like to, unless you grow it yourself and have a pepper plant in your home. My mom does. My mom grows everything. She's such a green thumber. But I have these frozen, and so they'll still be great. So I'm gonna put 3. Okay. Let's see how hot that is. And then we add water. So we're gonna add a cup of water instead of a half cup. it shows half a cup, so I'm going to add some water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons, but doubling 4. I love heaping, love peanuts. And then sugar, 3 tablespoons of sugar. Make sure this is sugar. I better taste because no, this is salt. I just realized it's salt. Okay, I'm glad I saw that. I've done that before where I put salt instead of sugar and it's not good. Look at that. That was half a tablespoon. I will need 1 teaspoon of salt. But I'm doubling, and sugar, here's the sugar. It's gonna make a huge difference. I have added and substituted sugar before, but I seem to find I don't like to go completely sugar-free. I like to go maybe half of the regular sugar and half of the monk sugar or agave. So it's for some reason it just tastes better that way. 3. Okay, again I'm doubling, so that's 4, 5, and 6. I think that's sugar. Why does it look different? Okay, it is sugar. The monk sugar, I don't know if you've seen it, it looks just like a regular sugar. So I just want to make sure I got it right. Okay, so we have 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. This is just a plain rice vinegar. Now, sometimes you'll see rice vinegar that says sweetened and seasoned and flavored, like the Japanese. The sweetened rice vinegar already has stuff in it, and so it's good too, but then you might want to eliminate some sugar. So just read your label. The Japanese like to soak the rice vinegar that has sugar and seasonings in it with fresh cucumbers, and that's so delicious. So you read your label and make sure it's not the seasoned one. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons, so that means it's 4 teaspoons, and 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. Little education here. So that's 3 teaspoons, which is 1 tablespoon, and another teaspoon because I am doing 4 to double. Okay, and lime juice, I got that, peanuts, I got that, peppers, I got that, vinegar, sugar, salt. Oh, fish sauce. I cannot forget the fish sauce. I mean, I'm Thai. This is a Thai recipe. What the heck? I almost forgot the fish sauce. Okay, fish sauce. 1 tablespoon, but again, I am going to double. So this is, again, I've said that earlier in the show, it's more of a Vietnamese style. Love Vietnamese food. Oh my goodness, so yummy. Shout out to my Vietnamese neighbors. Okay, so that's it. This is an awesome sauce. I'm going to, this blender is great. So I'm gonna click that on there. Put this on there. You've seen my other segments where I'm struggling with it. I'm getting better. Okay, so just going to pulse it. Put on the power and pulse. There we go. I'm gonna pulse it because I have the peppers on the bottom, but now I'm beginning to think because they're not, I should have chopped them up first. So I'm going to crush it. That's really loud. Okay, so I have this blade that I think is made, it's not the metal one. So I noticed that I have the peppers not chopping. So I'm going to pull up the peppers. Or you know what I can do? I'm just gonna pull the peppers and chop it a little bit. That's it. That's all you do. You don't even have to use a blender really unless you want to chop these peppers. So honestly, oh see, all that, the little seeds coming out of there, that's where your spicy flavor is going to come out. So I'm just going to put that back in there. You can actually stir it or shake it up, but the blender or the food processor will definitely mix it really well. So I'm gonna do that one more time, then I've chopped it up. And put on the power. There we go, I see it all over now. All right. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, now, at this point, I know that's really watery, but it's yummy. I'm gonna get a spoon and I'm going to actually taste it. I know I follow my recipe, but sometimes I like to taste it because I do heaping stuff. Oh my goodness, yummy. Okay. Ooh, a little bit spicy. Just a warning to the cameraman who's gonna come taste it. Okay, so we're gonna take a little break, but I'm gonna start. There's different ways to plate this because I've made this before. I've made more than this, and you could make it and put it in the fridge to serve it. But when we get back, let's take a little break. When we get back, I'm going to show you different ways you can plate this, and we're going to taste it. It's going to be so good. So break, come back, and we'll finish it off. Don't go away. All right, you guys, we have the sauce made. I'm gonna show you a little bit different ways to plate this. So in the past, like I actually made these for the Art City Ball, and they had this big extravaganza in Springville, extravaganza for like a bunch of people and like charity. And so what I did was I made them, and I put them like this. I cut them in half. And I use like a bread knife so it'll cut through the neatly across. And I just put them like this. And I've done this also for a wedding. Look at how pretty that is. So I'm gonna do a few more actually. And like I said, if you make a mistake, you can still, oh, look at how pretty that is. You can, like this one, I'm gonna eat this one because look, I broke the skin, but it still works, so. But we'll do that one. It'll still look pretty, watch. See? Well, it doesn't stay together. There you go. I guess you can take a fork and start eating it like that. Okay, I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna put that. I guess this could be the plating. So I'm gonna take that and cut this. Put that there. All right. Do a little bit more. Look at how beautiful. Can you see yourself making these and presenting it for dinner or for lunch or having, now this is easier than sushi and it's less calories than sushi and it's so yummy. So I'm going to spoon up some sauce into the little plate, and for the picture, put that right there. I think I'll add a red pepper right there. Look, this is what you need to do to serve your family. And they'll think, what a gourmet chef you are. My cookbook, remember? My cookbook, Thai Food Made Easy, cedarfordpress.com, booksandthings.com, same company. And I'm just going to have a taste of this one. So now in my recipe book, there's also another recipe for another peanut sauce. That's awesome. So what I'm gonna do is you can dip it, or I'm just gonna pour a little bit right there and take a bite. That's how you can do it. One of my favorites, honestly. It's so yummy. Ooh, I taste the chicken now. So, go to Macy's and get my recipe book first, and go to Macy's and make your beautiful dish as an appetizer. Or just, no, again, I said you can also put it into a container, airtight container, and put it in the fridge. And everybody can just pull it out and grab it for lunch or whatever. So, next time on our show, we're gonna have more exciting new recipes. So, come back. But it's thank you to Macy's, Cooking Made Easy with June, Spanish Fork 17, Thai Food Made Easy cookbook. Happy Thai girl, happy cooking. We'll see you next time. Thank you.